Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, something close to me as a content creator and maybe to some of you guys that are active on social media. From NBC, Meta is ending its fact-checking program in favor of a community notes system similar to X. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced a series of major changes to the company's moderation policies and practices, saying that the election felt like a cultural tipping point. Now, you guys may recall that we covered this on the channel. Back in March of 2024, Zuckerberg said that he was no longer going to suggest or recommend current events or political posting, and essentially killed my Instagram account because most of what I put on Instagram is current events and my political commentary or my work as I do on YouTube. And so I've had zero growth since 2024 on Instagram. Zero. I mean, absolutely stuck at, I think, 388. Maybe it goes to 389, then back to 388. But anyway, suffices to say, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced a series of major changes to the company's moderation policies and practices Tuesday, citing a shifting political and social landscape and a desire to embrace free speech. Oh, man. Wow, the flowery language these individuals use. It's one thing for them to say these things. It's another for them to implement it. Zuckerberg said that Meta will end its fact-checking program with trusted partners and replace it with a community-driven system similar to X's community notes. Trusted fact-checkers. Well, if you're getting rid of them, apparently they couldn't be trusted. The company is also making changes to its content moderation policies around political topics and undoing changes that reduce the amount of political content in users' feeds. Zuckerberg said, "Thank you very much, Mark. It took an entire year for you to realize this." For the changes. Well, basically what happened, and everyone here on the BuzWeaver channel knows this, right? That the establishment Uni-party had control, allowed for the left to essentially hijack our culture, hijack our institutions, hijack our justice system, and now that we have a mandate by the voters of the American people who clearly saw what was going on and what the establishment, what the Democrats, what the Trump detractors were doing to put a stain on Donald Trump. And, of course, since the verification yesterday, or the certification yesterday, of course, they keep trying to bring up Judge Merchan and the hush money case because they have to continually stick that knife and turn it into the back of Donald Trump to smear him. The changes will affect Facebook and Instagram, two of the largest social media platforms in the world, each boasting billions of users as well as threads. We're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platform. That's all anyone ever wanted. Now, let's not confuse free speech with inciting and other things that would not be part of free speech. Now, a lot of people believe that they should be able to say whatever they want to whomever they want on Facebook and so forth. But this is why we have settings on those platforms, so that we can mute or block people from impeding upon our space, right? So it's not like they're being denied the ability to speak, but people have their accounts and that they can mute and block people if they feel that these individuals are a detriment to their platform, right? Just like here on YouTube, you know, if people are being disruptive in comments or to me or other things, then I can simply block them. I'm not denying them their speech. I am simply saying, hey, your speech is not welcome where I am, particularly with it not being constructive or productive or even friendly to the community. So there's Zuckerberg right there. I don't know if that's him announcing it.
Hey, everyone. I want to talk about something important today because it's time to...
As opposed to something unimportant. He wants to talk about something important as opposed to something unimportant.
Back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years.
That's right. A lot that's happened is the establishment Uni-party allowed the left a platform to hijack our culture, to hijack our institutions, and to hijack our justice system. he kind of left that out. I just needed to include that in there.
There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this...
Well, okay, I take it back. He just mentioned it right there, I suppose, in a very constructive, very generic way, right?
This is clearly political. But there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a...
And here's the thing, is each of these platforms use a shadow ban system. And in some instances, the way this works is the people can still see that they are posting, but none of that content is being disseminated anywhere else. In other words, like I was saying on Instagram, all my current events, all of my uploads on Instagram were not getting any reach. They weren't being recommended and they weren't being suggested to anyone. So unless individuals followed me on Instagram, no one was going to see my content. No one. Now, I can post on other political and current event individuals on Instagram, and maybe people could see my post or comments and then go to my Instagram. But as far as like any recommendations or suggestions based upon a topic search, they would never find my content on Instagram. It just would never happen.
Point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
No. What the recent election demonstrated was that the American people were sick of the nonsense that was created by the establishment. Now, not just the nonsense that we talk about here on the BuzWeaver channel, like I like to always bring up about them hijacking our culture and so forth, but the fact that everyday Americans were paying more for groceries, paying more for gas, paying more for their bills. You know, everything was more expensive. Everything had gone up because of the changes that Joe Biden had done and whatever changes the establishment Uni-party wanted to make as Joe Biden as their surrogate. So there's no mystery here. But if you guys want to check out everything that Zuckerberg had to say, you can just look this up via NBC News in your search browser and do Meta is ending the fact-checking program, as you can see here. And it's interesting because on the X, as it were, breaking UFC CEO Dana White to join Mark Zuckerberg on the Meta board of directors. How about that? Does this change your opinion of Facebook? Well, the fact that he's making these changes is huge for me as a content creator, and maybe even for you guys who post on a regular basis. This is absolutely huge news for me. Now, seeing it in action and how it's going to work on Instagram is going to be a matter of time because, you know, once I start, well, continuing to post as I do every day on Instagram and Twitter and other places. So if you're not following me on these platforms, you can find my links to my account down below, and I would encourage you guys to follow me there. And of course, your support here across the video platforms is equally as welcome. So I do appreciate all that. But so Dana White's going to join Zuckerberg. I think a lot of this is just image. A lot of it's just optics. I'm not exactly sure what Zuck will do or what Dana will be doing there, but Facebook dumps fact checkers, as we just read, in an attempt to restore free speech. I would argue that they are not going to allow the levels of censorship. I was going to say censorious because that's what TikTok is. TikTok is absolutely censorious. I have been suspended 2 times on TikTok. Each time, or the time that they ended up actually taking the action to suspend me, was when I talked about Judge Merchan, which is what we were talking about earlier and is continuing to be talked about as of even today, as Donald Trump's appeal was denied by an appellate court or an appeals court. But that's all going to get straightened out once he becomes president. But I would say right now, let it just flow. As a matter of fact, if I were Trump, now I can't make his decisions for him, but he could just not appear on the 10th. But he wants to be cooperative, and that's, you know, his prerogative. But once he becomes president, yeah, the first thing that Amy Bondi needs to do is absolutely address this problem with the lawfare that's going on in New York. But yeah, so I am very excited about what's going to happen here. So you guys will have to let me know down in the comments section if you have been impacted somehow and in some way by the changes that were made by Meta, Zuckerberg, or even if you're on TikTok, have you experienced a sense of shadow banning, as it were? So you guys will have to let me know down in the comment section. But I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, for your guys' continued support. And, of course, everyone here on YouTube for your guys' continued support. The likes, the shares, and the comments do help out the channel. Although, as you know, below this video, you can find the various affiliate social media links that I belong to. So I encourage you guys to take advantage of those. And, of course, everyone watching here on YouTube, you will now be seeing the icon, the channel icon for the channel here. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.